This is the first time I've ordered a product, received the wrong item, and been excited about that.
Dang, that rear shock is sick.
I purchased or attempted to buy the upgrade rear shock, which is a $150 upgrade, but was sent the $250 gas reservoir upgrade, which is the best rear shock that you can install on the RTR. So the stock RTR suspension is actually pretty good. You can jump it over and over, and it's most likely not going to bottom out. You can even miss your landing, case it, or land flat. There's plenty of footage of these bikes being jumped real high right out of the box. Front forks I have no complaints with whatsoever. I never get them to bottom out even when I'm jumping up and down on the pegs, which is surprising because on my E-Ride 3.0 with fast A shocks, I can actually get it to bottom out, just bouncing up and down on it. But I wanted to upgrade the rear shock for 4 reasons. First of all, I want to be able to say, I've got a fully built RTR, and the only part or upgrade left was suspension. I've already got brakes, battery, motor, controller, cosmetics, bars, lights. 2 would be an atrocious squeak that started about 100 miles ago, and I've tried grease and WD-40 on the rear shock bolts, and it just wouldn't go away, so I deduced that it's probably the rear shock that was causing that squeak. Replace the part with an upgrade, why don't you? The next one is I want to start taking this bike to the local motocross track, a couple trails, and then an actual motocross track. So with the combination of the big wheel kit and this gas reservoir racing rear shock, this bike should be super jumpable and just super plush. And the last reason is actually wheelies, because when you get back really far into what's called the drop back, like past balance point, the suspension can sag a little bit because all of your weight is on one wheel, the back of the bike. And when you start doing what's called combos, where you're in a wheelie and then you jump to the seat, cross your legs over and start tap dancing on the seat. I can't do any of this stuff yet, but eventually, my friends. Just a few months ago, I couldn't do balance point wheelies, and now I can hit them on the E-Ride and the RTR. So the next evolution or step of that would be combos, bouncing around like a freaking hooligan. And when you do that, the suspension's dipping and rocking, and you get more stability out of a stiffer rear shock. So I watched Connor G's video. He got the regular upgrade shock and mentioned that it was a big upgrade for wheelies. This gas reservoir shock is even stiffer than that. Even if you're not going to be jumping this thing, you're only street riding it, you do get the benefit of less bounce for a heavier rider. Let's install this thing and I'm going to give you my thoughts. If you're going to buy any parts or a whole bike from Electro & Co., use code HUMBLE5 to save 5%.
This never happens, not having an E-Ride 3.0 and an RTR in your living room next to a beautiful German Shepherd, but I dang done ordered the upgrade rear shock from Electro & Co. for my RTR and was sent the wrong part. Actually, a better, more expensive upgrade. Sheesh, that's an upgrade right there. 3 quick things I want to mention. The first one is that these little side pieces keep falling out. To get them to stay in there, you can use a little dollop of grease. Good lubricated rotation, no metal on metal contact. Also, the orientation of mounting this, because this is a pit bike with not a lot of fitment or space in here, there is a picture on the Electro site that shows it being mounted like this, which is technically inverted or upside down, as you can see by the fact that all the adjustments are upside down. So if you were installing this on a E-Ride or a bigger bike, it would be the other way around. So this does look cosmetically weird, having all the branding, all the labels upside down, but this is the mounting orientation according to the picture on Electro & Co. Here's what really seems not normal. Check out the side-to-side player wiggle. I cannot apply any more pressure to these bolts. They are screwed all the way in. This thing is wiggling and waggling. So initial impressions, the squeak is gone. Not only is this padded aftermarket seat very comfortable, but that shock. I'm about 185 pounds right now, 189. I had a rough night last night and binge ate a little bit. Filled the void, but just filled my stomach. Now keep in mind, this is with that side-to-side play, or maybe I should never do this hand motion again. That side-to-side play or wiggle in that shock, which I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but that's how it is, and that's how I'm gonna ride it until I learn otherwise. So this is the default settings. I haven't messed with any of the clickers. I think I found the issue. These rubber O-rings came out of this brass part, and they're supposed to be in this little track right here. Also, there's no grease in there, so I'm adding that. Also, in comparison to the stock shock, you cannot grab this adjustment ring by hand and just twist it. I can't adjust this at all. I even tried to pinch it with this tool, which is for removing oil filters if you do your own oil changes for God knows whatever reason. And of course, it cosmetically scuffed the ever-living shit out of my new shock, but did not do what I wanted it to. But I do have this adjustment all the way to its fastest and then down 3 clicks, and then I do have the compression all the way at its hardest and then down 3 clicks. Also, the stock shock has this little retainer clip on both sides. This one right here, retainer clip. Those are not on this shock. All right, y'all, it feels so much better after taking the shock out again, tightening everything up as far as the compression and rebound settings. It actually feels stiff. Compare this to me bouncing around earlier on the out-of-the-box stock settings to this. Bike sags a lot less with my weight of 185 pounds. It just feels way more firm. Tossing back wheelies and taking jumps, it's gonna be nice. It's not even hitting the kickstand, and I'm way less worried about the gas reservoir shock digging into the battery, because it was a 1/4 inch away from hitting the battery, just me bouncing up and down. So if I landed on a jump, I feel like that gas reservoir would hit the side of the battery. But now we should be good. Let's see about this new rear shock. The squeak is gone, that's a plus. So if you kind of jump up, you can totally spin out on this thing, it's sick. Oh my God, it sounds so much quieter and smoother now. The chain was actually too tight and it needed lubrication, but now that she's loosened and lubricated, it sounds so much better. Dang, this sounds so much better now. Dang, that rear shock is sick. Like right there, I just ran over a bump while up in a wheelie. All right, let's try and hit the speed bump while up in a wheelie. Yeah. I don't really have any complaints with the stock forks. It was just the rear shock. Wow, it's popping better too. It's almost like the revolver motor was not working at max efficiency because it was struggling to fight that too tight of a chain. Like, it is literally feeling like it has more power, it's quieter. I'm really digging everything about it right now. Oh, honey. Slick. All these wet leaves. Make sure them tires have traction before you pop her up. Double check these bolts on the rear shock before we get shocked. Poor Betty's getting splittered and splattered. I'm also wearing a white shirt, so I probably got a dirty stain down my back. Okay, that bolt's good. Yeah, the motor's just got more torque, it's quieter. This is kind of how it should have been. So I guess I was running the chain too taut. It is super slick right here with all these wet leaves. Probably roosting up my back and my crack. About this rear shock, the squeaks are gone, which is the main reason I bought a replacement shock, was because the stock one was squeaking. But this is much firmer now, which will make bouncing in combos better, taking jumps. There's that albino squirrel again. Very interesting looking. Easier to wheelie now with the stiffer rear shock and the chain being the proper tension and lubricated. Honey, baby. It just wants to be in balance point right now. Sounds better too. I keep saying it, but my, just listen to her. It's like I was literally fighting the bike to do wheelies, and now it's like she's working with me as a team. All right, let's see how it. Ooh, yeah, it hurts a little more in the tuchus hitting those speed bumps because it is a stiffer shock, but that just means big hits like a jump would absorb a lot better. I wasn't even trying to lock up right there, but I fishtailed just because the formula brake is so touchy, plus you got wet pavement. Oh, do the math. Gotta be careful with these. I think there's some grease on the bottom of my shoe. I feel like I'm about to slip out. I will say these stock foot pegs are actually really good. I have heard some people use a Dremel tool to shave down the teeth to make them a little bit sharper, the spikes, so they dig into your shoe a little bit better. But honestly, I think they're pretty good the way they is. Getting up there to the old balance point coasterinos. It's quieter, it's a deeper sound, it's smoother. I'm liking it. Smells like marijuana through here. Sativa. Slow it down, get it up. Not proper drainage right there, I tell you. A rolling burnout with no front brake, just all torque. This thing. God, the sound it makes now is so sick. The whole back end just twisted on me.
So much torque, the chassis twisted coming off the line.
Look at this weird little critter. Wet leaves spinning out. Ooh, 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 that is a stiffer suspension. No biggie, we'll hit a porta potty. Everyone's super nice over here. There's another porta potty over that way. She's getting a little dirty. The white really shows the mud. See how these supermotos handle the wet grays. If you come here right after a big rain, it's all the way up to like that second dip right there. If you crank the corn off it, it does slide sideways pretty consistently. Okay. Supermotos actually ain't doing bad in this wet terrain.
Man, I ain't gonna take up no more of your time, but I do appreciate you talking to us.
Yeah, no problem,
It's
guys.
just like ironic, like literally we're out here watching you wheelie.
Right on.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got my number, man, if you got any questions.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
All right, fellas.
Cops can't hear you at night, you know all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Watch out for these leaves, they'll get you, buddy. Spinning out from like 20 miles an hour on this thing. We got to work on them balance point coasters. I want to be able to take the throttle hand off real bad. Oh. Heavy arm pump right now. All the squirrels. 3 of them in the road right now. nuts in there. That was crazy. Dang, that rear shock is so stiff, it like springs you forward when you hit those speed bumps. Oh, my balance point coaster. That rear shock is so stiff compared to the stalker. Okay, Mr. Balance Point, good to see you again. Oh my God, that shock.
So a quick pros, cons, and verdict on this shock. Let's start with the cons. Installation, you have to install this inverted because of fitment, that it's a pit bike, it's small. So because of that, all of your adjustment, clickers, sliders, the labels, everything on the shock, it's all upside down. Before I stiffened up the shock with the clickers, it was pretty soft for being an upgraded shock, to the point to where when I was bouncing on it, the gas reservoir on the side looked like it was getting eerily close to the battery. So if I landed big hit on a jump, it felt like that could dig into the side of the battery, which would be a big issue. But I'm sure Electro & Co. has tested this shock at their facility, Electroland. They ride the heck out of their pit bikes, jump them and stuff at their facility before they even sell these products, take them to market. The next con is the fact that this is kind of an unnecessary upgrade. If you got the regular RTR, not the light, then you do already have adjustable suspension with compression and rebound, and it's pretty darn good. I've never gotten it to bottom out, and it does give you more of a plush, comfortable ride because it's softer. The upgraded shock is stiffer, and then the gas res upgraded shock is even stiffer than that. You'll notice that when going over speed bumps, dropping off curbs, definitely jumps. It's going to hurt a little more. It's not going to bottom out on you, and it's going to take bigger hits, bigger sends. If you're doing combos where you're bouncing around on the seat, it's not going to be compressing around as much, and you're going to feel more stable and planted in that wheelie. So overall, this isn't really a necessary upgrade. If you got the RTR Lite, the suspension upgrades mean a lot more and are more beneficial. This is a cool upgrade. Drop in the comment section below what you think of this upgrade. Have you done any upgrades to your RTR? Do you have an RTR? Do you have an E-Moto period? What do you ride right now? Do you like it? What do you not like about it? We get a little conversation going on down there. If you're gonna buy any bikes, replacement parts for broken stuff, or upgrades from Electro & Co., use code HUMBLE5, and I'll see you tomorrow.